Hey family, what's going on? It's Bill, William, whatever family know me as, right? Bill. So look, I've been really thinking, man, about a personal story. I was a correction officer. I was talking to an African dude, co-worker, and he told me about his uh, his grandfather. And the first time he met a white man, and the white man was riding through the bicycle, and he didn't describe it as a jungle. He said forest. So, and he no, it was his uncle. And so I'm listening, looking at the dude, and I'm like, what? Where have they not encountered a white man? But he was actually talking about an uncle from 100 years ago. They keep their ancestors alive through their personal stories, and when you talk about them, they almost talk about like they're right now, right here, alive with them. I encountered something similar working at the Department of Interior, and I was playing basketball with a Native American buddy of mine. His name is so. Anyway, he was telling me about um, when his uncle fought Custer, and his uncle fought at the Battle of was it Bighorn, and where Custer died. And he said that Custer was not killed by a Native American. Custer killed himself. And I'm looking at him like, Bighorn happened in what, 1867, over 100 and some years ago. But again, he was talking about his uncle who had shared these stories, and the stories was passed down. And they talk about these relatives like they're still alive, like they just passed or just passed. I found that we don't do the same thing. I want to take this opportunity to talk about um, a few memories I have of my grandmother, Ruby West slash Parker. Um, Her mother was Pearl West. So she has a lot of grandchildren, great grandchildren, and a lot of lineage come off her tree. They don't even know about her. They probably don't even, some don't even know her name. Never met her. It's not their fault. But I just want to take a minute and share my memories. And I hope that you will take a minute and share your memories and post it up. Let's make a collage. Let's make a book. Let's bring our ancestors to life and keep them alive. So one of the earliest memories I have of my Grandma Ruby was, I guess you can say, I don't know if it was my first birthday or my second birthday, right? I talked to my sister about it. She said she thinks it was my second. But Grandma Ruby threw us a party, birthday party, me and Sharon. Sharon's birthday is in July, mine is in August. She like, we doing them both together, right? And she threw it in Lincoln Park. Back then we used to live, was it North Carolina Avenue? Um, we lived with grandma. But you know what? I don't remember grandma being actually in the house or living in the house, I should say. Aunt Elsie lived there, her grandkids, Jackie and Joyce lived there, me, Sharon, Ma lived there. I can't remember who else lived there. Big old house. And you know what else I don't remember? I don't remember Sharon's room where she stayed. Isn't that interesting? So, at any rate, she threw us a party over in Lincoln Park. And for years I had that picture somewhere, and I got a red fire truck as my birthday gift. And I remember the two cakes. Everybody loved Sharon's cake. My cake was some type of sponge cake, and nobody liked it, including me. So that's one of my earliest memories of my grandmother. Man, she was always festive. I remember one time we were in the house actually, and this time we were in the basement before the basement flooded out, and we were watching James Brown. She was watching James Brown on the floor model TV. And James Brown was doing a performance on a wall. I don't know if it was the Great Wall of China. I don't know if it was some wall in America, Indiana. I don't know. But he was doing a performance on the wall. And he was jamming. And everybody was jamming and enjoying him, man. And I started doing the bow legs, right? And grandma like, oh yeah, there he is, there you go. And they'd start promoting, yeah, do it, boy. So I was doing the bow legs, man. And that was one of the great memories that I had of grandma. We used to have a dog, a German Shepherd. Her name was Sheba. Every once in a while, I try to ride on Sheba's back. I don't know whatever happened to Sheba. Let me see. I remember Grandma Ruby came down to Fort Belvoir. Strange as life repeats itself. I was a contractor at Fort Belvoir, maybe around 2001, 2, 3, somewhere around there. And on lunch break, I remember taking a ride around the base, and memories start flooding back because you see, we had been stationed at Fort Belvoir at one time. My stepdad, or Bill Farrell, for whom I'm named, um, he's an Army veteran, Vietnam veteran. So we came back, we were at Fort Belvoir, and man, we weren't too far from the lake there. And I drove past that lake, by the housing area, and it was crazy. The feeling that came over me. I went back decades to when I was a little boy. So, at any rate, Bill, as a veteran, I'm understanding he was a different guy than when he left. But I think him and my mom got into another fist fight, physical altercation, and Grandma Ruby came down and picked us up. And she came down, I think it was in a green convertible Mustang. We jumped in that car, and I remember her beeping the horn. I think her husband Sonny was driving. She's like, "Hey, hey, hey!" And man, we never came back to Fort Belvoir. Oh, I think from there we must have went to North Carolina Avenue or something. I don't know. I don't know. I remember Grandma one time, man. Sometimes she would pick up all her grandkids, right? Um, it was a car full of us this particular time, as usual. This time I do remember a car. She had a green Comet, Ford Comet, and I was in the front seat. And boy, the front door fell open. I was leaning on that door, man, and I felt almost out the car. My head and shoulders was out the car, and Grandma trying to drive and control the wheel and trying to grab me at the same time. Boy, and I was just inches away from that concrete. I can feel the concrete even to this day, the sand and the gravel and stuff, man. But she rescued me, pulled me back in. And I don't know where we went thereafter or what we did. I remember Grandma, I went to a recently, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, one of my neighbors, she died. And she was a Catholic, and they had a Catholic service for her. So I went and, she was an old neighbor, Miss, I forgot the lady's name. She was an old sweetie pie. So I went in, and she stayed active till she was like 93. And if she fell off, she just fell off. So anyway, I went to her service. And again, I had this overwhelming feeling that I've been here before. Well, I'd never been to that church. But you see, I remember Grandma Ruby took me to a Catholic service, took me to a church service, and obviously it's Catholic. I talked to my mom about it recently. She said, well, uh, Grandma had been excommunicated from her church, whatever it was, or for whatever reason, don't know none of those details. And she started to go to a Catholic church. So I just remember as a little boy with Grandma, and I remember everybody, I remember the knees, the knee things in the pew so you can kneel down. And I was a little, I'm talking about a little boy. I couldn't be no more than, Grandma died when I was, I think, 4 or 5 at the oldest. Uh, so I was no more than, I think I was like 3 or 4 years old. So I do remember, man, everybody kept kneeling down and then getting up and kneeling down and then getting up, and I just didn't know. I was a little boy. I had no clue. So I remember you know, the red velvet, and I don't remember the prayers, but when I was in my neighbor's funeral going away ceremony, it all came back to me. Even the song they sung, which is a fairly common and known song, but I was just taken back. Like, whoa, I've been here before. Personally, I think that my grandma Ruby prayed for me as a little boy, and like the Psalms say, man, God hears our prayers and answers our prayers. So many times I should have been in a way worse position. Man, something covered me and protected me, and it's more than luck. Trust me. So let me see, Grandma Ruby. I think I remember. I remember an incident. I was a little boy. Well, again, Grandma Ruby's husband was violent, Sonny, and they were fighting, and the fight spilled out in the street, and all grandma's loved ones, they was down on Sonny. I don't know how Sonny had the audacity to give it a shot. Uh, but I remember Sharon, my big sister, she grabbed my hand. She always protected her little brother. She grabbed my hand and she also grabbed a brick. I don't know why. If I was 4, that make her 7. In the world make her know to pick up a brick? But she did. She picked up a brick and lo and behold, dropped it on my toe. And as a little boy, that was a painful event. So I just remember it was a whole lot of heated drama out there on the street. That was on the street. We walked out of the gate and onto the sidewalk. I wonder though, Uncle Don told me about an incident where Sonny had beat her up and they caught him in his car. And they was on the other side of the street. And they started tossing bricks inside his car, smashed his window up, tore his car up something bad. I wonder if that was the same incident. I don't think so. Well, at any rate, I don't think I have much more about my grandma Ruby. Many more memories. She took her own life. Like I say, when I was 4, maybe 5 at the oldest. I think it was 4. If it was 72, then I was 4. I remember she used to bring us the candy, chocolate candies look like gold coins, a sack of gold coins. I think our whole family would have been differently impacted if she would have lived to old age. For one thing, I definitely know all my cousins. First cousins we talking about. First cousins. We don't know each other. Nobody filled grandma's shoes. I guess everybody, her kids were young and in their own mode. We lost a lot. I understand. I was a young parent in my own mode as well at one point in time. But man, we lost a lot. Grandma was a beautiful soul. So I'm gonna share this video. I know I got some cousins that spent more time with her than me, right? Or were older, could appreciate the memories of me. Cousin Kevin, I know Kenny spent time with her. Of course, my sister Sharon. Hey, Jackie and Joy spent time, right? Definitely like to get Mom's and Uncle Tyrone's memories. They should have an expansive library, but we want that data before it's gone. We want to store it and keep it uploaded to the internet. Put a central location for us. That's all I got. 13 minutes. Just 13 minutes. That's all I can talk about for my grandma. But she left an impression on my heart, my soul. Don't let her die. Bless you.